According to scholars, the origin of magic comes from the ancient Near East. The Greek word magia derived from an ancient Near Eastern language. So, to understand the core meaning of magic, we have to look at the ancient Near Eastern rituals, ceremonies, or treatments. As it is often the case, the prime meaning of the term magic is specific, and interestingly, it does not overlap much with what was regarded ancient Near Eastern magic. Based on their perception of the Middle East, the early Greeks loaned the term magus from Old Persian magus to designate religious practices that were used by Iranian experts. Derived from magus, the term magia carried an argued connotation, but mostly was characterized as obscure, irrational, impious, and it served as a derogatory label, a deception performed by cunning practitioners on naive victims. Going back to the real objective of magic in the ancient Near East, it is essential to understand that magic formed a triad with science and religion. It created a heuristic framework for people to interact with their environment in a holistic way. According to the information inscribed in cuneiform tablets, we learn that all ancient Near Eastern societies had vast knowledge about rituals, prescriptions, and incantations that were mainly performed by ritual experts. Based on the clay tablets, we learn that Sumerian and Akkadian incantations and ritual texts in ancient Mesopotamia, more specifically Babylonia in southern Iraq and Assyria in the north, had a specific kind of profession which was called Asipu in Sumerian and Masmasu in Akkadian. This word was translated as exorcist. The texts itself were called Asiputu, which has been translated as magic or exorcistic lore. The Babylonians considered these texts as a great antiquity because they were written by Enki himself, the guardian or the god of wisdom and exorcism. Mesopotamian magic was divided into four main categories. The first one is called liminal magic, and it represents white magic. Liminal magic was referred to rituals in which an individual or an object is transformed and taken into a different status. The second category is called defensive magic. It also represents a form of white magic. Defensive magic entails rituals to remove or repel evil that threatens, harms an individual. The third category is called aggressive magic. It falls into a gray area between white magic and black magic. These rituals are performed to give an individual strength, attractiveness, or superiority. The next category is known as witchcraft. This classification is mainly associated with black magic, which represents an aggressive form of rituals that are performed to harm an individual. The majority of ritual texts transmitted through the clay tablets belong to white magic, or liminal and defensive magic, in which transforming impurity to purity is the central idea. On the other hand, black magic or witchcraft were considered illegal, so ritual texts about witchcraft were not transmitted. Magic and sorcery was a normal part of ancient Mesopotamian life. White magic was used for protection, medical treatment, and to counteract black magic, among many other objectives. Ancient Mesopotamians believed that the world was often threatened by people who worshipped or even hosted demons. One of the earliest Mesopotamian cuneiform tablets from the 3rd millennium BC are the Udug-hul incantations. These texts are known as bilingual incantations, written in Sumerian as Udug-hul Akam and in Akkadian Utuku-lemnutu. The meaning has been translated as incantations of evil demons. The original texts include a collection of unilingual spells that were later edited into a bilingual series of incantations. The main objective of these texts was to heal patients that suffered illnesses caused by demons. Campbell Thompson was the first to publish the translation of the incantations in 1904. The book was titled The Devils and Evil Spirits of Babylonia. The Udug-hul incantations offer specific guidelines for practitioners to perform healing rituals. Here is an example of the texts in which an exorcist describes the process. In order to cure the patient of his illness, the great Lord Ea has sent me. I am the incantation priest who heals the land. When I approach the patient, when I study the patient's flesh, and when I examine his limbs, when I sprinkle the water of Ea on the patient, when I frighten the patient, when I slap the patient's cheek, when I call out over the patient, when I cast the Eridu incantation, may the good spirit and good genius be present at my side. Wherever I go, may I be safe. May the individual whom I touch be well. The exorcist also takes steps to ensure his own safety while approaching the person and repeats the following formulae that are designed to protect the exorcist from the same demons who caused the illness over the patient. May evil ones not approach my body. May they not cause harm to my face. May they not go behind me, nor enter my house, and may they not clamber up to my roof, nor slip into my living room. So the exorcist also needs to protect his own environment after having treated a patient. The same message is repeated later on in different tablets. I'm holding Anu's exalted arrowwood scepter in my hand. I'm holding the date palm front of the major rituals in my hand. May they not approach my body. May you not cause harm to my face, nor may they go behind me. May they not follow the tracks of where I stand. You may not stand where I stand, nor may you sit where I sit. May you not go where I go, nor enter where I enter. The exorcist is usually referred to as the messenger of Ea or Enki. The texts provide a list of demons that were associated with diseases such as epilepsy, seizure, and stroke, for which the incantations provided protection for the exorcist. The exorcist had to protect himself first to only then treat the patient. In essence, the incantations acted as an oral immunity against illness. What follows next is a brief ritual in which honey and ghee are mixed with a plant, Nikiptu. The texts instruct the healer to rub this concoction on the skin before approaching the patient. I quote, "When you will approach the patient, you first anoint yourself, so that in order to approach the patient, nothing bad will approach you." These lines are repeated in the texts to emphasize that the proximity can be dangerous for the exorcist or for anyone else. The same idea was mentioned in the second tablet of the Diagnostic Handbook. I quote, "If you are to approach a patient, until you cast a spell on yourself, you should not approach the patient. So only after following these precise protection guidelines could the healer approach the person or the patient and help them."